Welcome to Outdoors Victoria's Sector Forum for March 2024. And today you've got Andrew Knight from Outdoors Victoria, as well as Andrea Vella from Outdoors Victoria. Good morning.
Good morning.
And later on, we'll also have from Outdoors Victoria, Andrew Goodday join us to talk through a couple of things. James, good morning. How are we?
Good morning. Yeah, we're going well, thanks. Good to be here.
Doing the walking
Thanks,
tour
Adam.
for us?
Pardon? Yeah. Yeah, no, just getting ready to take a client out. So just organising a few things.
Oh, fantastic. Good stuff. How's your year been so far?
Very busy. Very busy. Yeah.
That's positive.
Yeah, just taking a lot of clients out, access to nature, slowly growing. Currently about to get my first audit to become NDIS registered.
Oh wow. Okay.
Service provider.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating, James. I think we might have to have you at the National Outdoor Education Conference to talk us through how that all works.
Yeah, it's a bit of a process, that's for sure. Not a cheap one.
Yeah, right. I'm just going to alter the blinds so they don't look so stripy. Well, welcome everyone. Good morning. It's now just after 10. So my name's Andrew Knight from Outdoors Victoria. We've also got Andrea Vella from Outdoors Victoria here today as well. So good morning, everyone. And good morning, Rachel, Caitlin, James, Aaron, and also Melanie. So we'll have Andrew Goodday join us later on as well from Outdoors Vic to touch on the Disability Inclusion Project, which great people like James Nixon might be interested in, and also about careers in outdoors. So we might just get going, Andre, with the slide deck, if that's okay, and we'll get into it. What I might do is just flick to the next slide, Andrea, and I'd just like to acknowledge country before we get going. I'm here as well as Andrea Vella from Outdoors Vic on Wurundjeri country. And we acknowledge the Kulin nations across the nation. And whether you're listening to this as a recording around the world, we acknowledge that this land was never ceded, and that we also acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land which we all meet today. And we most certainly want to pay our sincere respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and also acknowledge and welcome any Indigenous Australians that are on the call. I might get into back to the agenda, Andrea. And if you've got anything in particular you'd like to call out, please pop your hand up during, and we can always just go straight to you, and Andrea will keep a little bit of an eye on that, as will I. Otherwise, just pop in a chat that you'd like to chat, or pop a question into chat or a comment into chat. We'll also be using the chat function as well to paste in a number of links. So you might want to be ready to start copying and pasting across into an email or something to yourself. There'll hopefully be some valuable links for you today as well. So we're going to touch on the National Outdoor Education Conference, and we'll do that in a moment. But also just for your diaries, the 4th through the 6th of December are the dates for you to enter in. It's the first time since 2007. So it's been 17 years since the National Outdoor Education Conference came to Victoria. So really proud to be able to organise and host that on behalf of Outdoor Education Australia. And that's down at Churchill campus with Federation University. It's absolutely amazing campus that, luckily for all of us, Monash spent tens of millions on. We have an incredible natural amphitheatre there, as well as a 600-person conference centre. And there'll be some accommodation on site, as well as camping for up to 100 tents as well. So it's going to be a pretty big big event, and very much inclusive pricing for everyone, including students. So if you've got any students in your patch through TAFE traineeships or RTO traineeships, Certificate 4, cross into the uni space, please let them know about saving the date, and we'll get out a whole lot more information around pricing and everything else and ticketing in middle of April. Okay, I'll also touch on today the formation of some advisory groups that we've formally now recognised, and also touch on the Active in Nature program that we've been running to get more of the underrepresented groups of the community out into nature, and then touch on some government meeting that we've had, and then we'll get into mentioning the Early Childhood Outdoor Learning Network Conference, and across into Outdoor Education Innovation Hub and what's the latest there, the Careers Expos that we'll be working with all of you to showcase careers in outdoors at this year, and give an update on Disability Inclusion Project, and also the professional development courses coming up, and some dates there as well for those ones in term 2, and ticketing will likely be released to that in the next couple of weeks, and then touch on the forum, the next one that we catch up on. Thanks, Andre. I might move to the next page. Okay, so for those who joined a little late, we have Acknowledged Country at the start. So welcome a couple that joined late. Very welcome to you, and you've got Andrew Knight and Andrea Vella from Outdoors Vic on the call, and Andrew Goodday will join us soon. So the expression of interest to be a presenter, whether you want to run a sort of formal presentation or a workshop or a panel type environment at the National Outdoor Education Conference, now's your time to put in that expression of interest. It was in the newsletter last week, which many of you would receive. If you don't receive it, please jump on to our website, top right, in the About Us section, subscribe for free, and you're good to go, and you'll get it in the next newsletter as well. But I'll get Andre to kindly pop a link in, and then you can pass this across to any of your colleagues if you're interested in presenting or a workshop or a panel session at that conference. There's a little process to go through, and they close on Monday night, the 8th of April. They've opened recently. So dive into chat soon, and there'll be something in there from Andrea. Oh, fantastic. It's already in there. So there we go. Thank you, Andrea, for that. So yeah, start copying and pasting those links into an email, everyone. And please pass that link far and wide to friends and colleagues in our sector. The more applications we have, the higher the quality of the conference and the diversity of the conference too. There's a number of different streams too. So this is very much acknowledging that our sector is made up of formal education settings in the university, in the TAFE, and the private RTO space, as well as the school settings. And then you've also got all the outdoor practitioners, and there'll be a relevant stream for that particular part of the sector as well. And we've got a health and wellbeing stream, and we've also got a stream around action on climate change for our sector. And that's led by an environmental scientist, by the way, which is pretty amazing. We've got some wonderful volunteer conveners that are going to be vetting the applications. So also just save the date and pass that around to all your colleagues as well. This will sell out, so please let everyone know when the tickets come out. We've got a capacity for 600. It will sell out, guaranteed. So please don't think that you've got through to September to book. You'll be sadly disappointed. And we have had a couple of years where we didn't have this national conference, and then we had it with our friends up at Outdoors New South Wales, ACT, and they had some restrictions around the size of the conference, and obviously had to pay for the premier space that they had up there at that particular resort. With us, we're incredibly fortunate that we've got Fed Uni providing the venue for us. So it's really going to mean that we can have much more affordable prices, and that's going to attract everyone to come. So if you'd like to come, please book early. Otherwise, you will be disappointed. We're not going to be doing streaming or any of that kind of things. We've chatted to a couple of other associations. It just doesn't work effectively. There may be the occasional session that we might record, but the value is actually being there. And that'll start with genuine sessions from Wednesday afternoon from 2 o'clock on the 4th and run till 4 o'clock on the Friday, the 6th of December, if you've got any friends overseas or interstate. That gives you a little bit more information. And we're planning to have the offer out around tickets and also some limited accommodation options on site, plus the very good value camping with hot showers as well. And there'll be other options that this Latrobe City, which is the LGA, will also provide some great options there as well around the surrounding towns. So yeah, basically 18th of April is the date, and also we'll have a very big following of our supporters that are exhibitors at the conference as well, and so that brochure will also be rolled out. Correct me if I'm wrong, Andrea, but that'll also be planned to be rolled out on the 18th of April. Yep, fantastic. Thanks, Andrea. Any particular questions from anyone on the National Outdoor Education Conference? Thank you. I'll keep going for now. Thanks, Andrea. Yeah, so touched on this last time. If you're an affiliate supporter, a paid up affiliate supporter of OV, you're entitled to head along to some of these particular groups. With the schools advisory group, that's very much experience-based and skill set based. So that's something of an application. So basically just email me, ceo@outdoorsvictoria.org.au. Got to be a registered and practicing teacher, and your school or yourself have to be an affiliate of OV. But that's made up of primary, secondary, independent, Catholic, and government school teachers, and they doing a great job of advising us. A meeting soon of that group coming up. With the Outdoor Provider Network, that's very much open to any of the outdoor providers out there who are an affiliate of OV, and there's many affordable ways to be an affiliate. But an invitation will go out soon for most likely a mid-April gathering online for an hour and a half. And that's very handy for us to have a direct connection to dozens and dozens of you great folks. And then the tertiary network is made up of the private RTO, which is out at Eastern Training Institute, as well as the 4 TAFEs that are in our space. Thank goodness Go TAFE's back on board offering courses, which is great, as well as Wodonga, Holmes Glen and Box Hill. And then you've got Fed, Latrobe and VU in the space that are connected on that tertiary network. And again, all of those organisations are affiliates of OV. So please take heed of that. And if you've got any further queries, obviously pop them in the chat, and we'll take it from there. Thanks also, Andrea, for just popping in. For any of you, again, friends or colleagues that aren't an affiliate, there's some really affordable ways to become an affiliate. You also receive a logo that many providers, schools, etc., have on their website to demonstrate how connected they are to the sector. Thanks very much, Andrea. We'll keep moving along. There will be some other great people coming into chat soon, so bear with us, but we've also got a video coming up as well. So Active in Nature, partnership between Parks Victoria and Outdoors Victoria that actually roll out this program. with 4 providers, including Bindaree. Welcome, Bindaree. You're on the call today. And also with funding and support from in the research space from Vic Health. So that's really about getting underrepresented parts of our community the opportunity to get out in nature and often be building their physical literacies around whether it's paddling, climbing, abseiling, mountain biking, hiking, general bush skills, camping. So a really, really magnificent program that's giving and providing lifelong skills for those less fortunate in our community to be able to get active outdoors for the rest of their life. I think we've got a video coming up, Andrea, so we might skip to that if we can get that going.
So the Active in Nature program is funded by Vic Health and delivered by Outdoors Victoria and Parks Victoria. And it aims to increase opportunities for young people to explore nature and to take part in recreation activities in our beautiful parks.
Well, we are part of a partnership group called the WHN, so the Wyndham Humanitarian Network, and we organise school holiday programmes for young people within Melbourne's West, really, but Hobson's Bay and Wyndham.
The program is addressing some of the barriers in regards to access, knowledge, resources, skills, and it'll give them opportunity to try something new, have a bit of fun, and maybe even find a new passion.
Yeah, so the groups we've brought out so far have seen a lot of joy, curiosity of being in different places, and they were very impressed with themselves, but that's probably because everyone else was very impressed with their efforts, and that sort of thing feeds into individuals' self-esteem, which is part of our well-being.
Thanks very much, Andrea, for that. And as I said, thanks very much, Bindaree, for being on the call, as well as you would have seen Geelong Adventure Specialist there with Edwin Rice Camps, as well as we've also got Cave Hill Creek involved with their particular new operation up in Halls Gap. So it's been a great start. And this is a particular pilot that we're hoping to have continued and expanded over the next couple of years in partnership with both Parks Vic and Vic Health. So yeah, keep close to us, and we'll keep you informed on that. There's some other videos as well around that particular program, which is on our main homepage. Thanks, Andrea. Quick catch up around some of the check-ins with government ministers in Victoria. So we've met with the officers of the Deputy Premier, the Education Minister, Ben Carroll, and that was a really positive meeting, touching on a whole lot of different subjects, whether it was our advocacy around years 7 to 10 outdoor education becoming an option in the health and PE curriculum, which, for everyone's information, is endorsed by ASHPA, which is the Phys Ed Teachers Association. So that's continuing to gain legs with the Victorian Curriculum Assessment Authority. So great to bring that up with the Deputy Premier's office. And also around continuing to work on innovative ways that we can continue to get as many students on camp with the new challenge of teacher time in lieu. We also touched on and celebrated the amazing Positive Start program, and are also now exploring what we can do with government, especially with the cost of living pressures that I'm sure everyone on the call is now feeling, unfortunately, and from my perspective, I'm 50, and the last time I remember this amount of financial stress with families generally was probably in the early 90s, with the recession we had to have. So the government's working on and exploring ways that they can make excursions, camps, sports activities, music activities a little more affordable for families, so that this particular generation of kids over the next couple of years isn't disadvantaged from maybe previous students. So we'll keep you informed on that. But yeah, definitely a whole lot of dialogue continuing on that front, which is wonderful. There's also meetings coming up with Steve Dimopoulos, the Minister for many things, including environment. So he takes in both DECA as well as Parks Vic. Also major events and tourism, as well as a new portfolio of outdoor recreation, which was with Sonia Kilkenny for about a year. So meeting with not only Steve Dimopoulos' team soon, but also with a number of their advisors specifically on some of those portfolios. So I'll bring you a whole lot more information, but if anyone would like to chat to me further about those particular upcoming meetings, please reach to me soon. And we'll also be meeting with Marianne Thomas in the coming months too, who's our health minister, because of the new relationship we have with Vic Health on behalf of the sector. Any particular things in chat, Andre, that I need to know about? Otherwise, I'll keep going. Fantastic, thank you. As I said, you'll be hearing from another wonderful person from OV soon, but I'll keep just zipping through these. What have we got next, Andrea? Thank you. Okay, yes. Again, this is something for a copy and paste potentially for this wonderful conference coming up. The Early Childhood Outdoor Learning Network, they're actually all registered and practicing kindergarten teachers who run that particular network. It's its own legal entity. It's recognised by the Department of Education. It's actually on the school readiness menu for all kindergartens that can actually choose to have this particular network, ECOLN for short, head out and help facilitate their kindergarten transition to more learning outside the classroom, which feeds in for all of us into a whole lot more enthusiasm, understanding for those children that then head into primary school, secondary school, and camps and outdoor activities there, as well as hopefully heading to TAFE or uni afterwards to join us in the sector. So starting young is very important. So any of your colleagues that are connected in that kindergarten space, this is the conference to be to if you want to learn a whole lot more about what's happening in that kindergarten space. One of the committee members of Econ has actually written the first book in Australia for Australian universities on bush kindergarten. And that's a course that's now run by Swinburne University and uses that particular book. So Karen Anderson is the wonderful woman that was the president, still in the committee at Econ, who wrote that particular book. But just a bit of extra FYI, we're keeping and supporting that early years part as well, because it's incredibly important to all of us for the future. Thanks, Andrea. Okay, so I've jumped forward. So we might see if we can just go shopping for another slide, because we've got Andrew Goodday going to catch up with us about this, because I think there's one or two other items we can touch on quickly. So keep going if you don't mind, Andrea. Yeah, I can have a quick chat about this. So this is something that we'd really like all of you to continue to support, which is our professional development series that we've developed for the first time in the history of OV. We've had a lot of people at our conference say, hey, look, we'd really love some PD throughout the year, whether it's in the formal education space, which is, for example, this particular PD. Of course, anyone, whether you're a provider, or an educator or in the tertiary sector are welcome to join. And it's free if you're an affiliate, which is magic, and then $50 for everyone else. So Andre, I'm sure, is kindly putting some links in the chat for the PD. That this one's happening this Thursday. But please continue to pass on this intel to all your colleagues and friends in our sector to support this. We will not run this PD in the future if we're not having it supported. So far this year, we've had fantastic support for the first couple of online ones at a very busy time of the year for everyone. We acknowledge this part of the year is very hectic. And we've already had some really great attendance, around the 20 to 30 for some of the specific VCE, OES teachers PD. This one's a whole lot more general. So please jump in. And of course, if you're not already an affiliate, become one. And then these particular online PDs are free. And we've had a rush of people joining as affiliates, which is wonderful, because it just means that we can reassure the board that we can make this sustainable. We're not wanting to make a dime out of this. This is all about giving back to the sector. And so please pass on and promote relentlessly to any of your friends and colleagues that this professional development is available. Thanks, Andrea. We've also got, this, Andrea, is this also on the website as well? If people want to, yeah, fantastic. So, yeah, sorry, go for it, Andrea.
Yeah, I was going to say, so we have a set of 26 professional development courses around the whole academic year. So the slide you saw before is the remaining PD session for term 1. And then in term 2, these are the ones that we're going to have. I just posted a link on the chat, and you can see term by term which professional developments we will have. So we haven't actually had the ticket or the booking yet for term 2. You can book for term 1, but you can already see which ones are the sessions, so that you can just put it in your diaries and see which ones you want to attend. We'll be announcing the booking for this term 2 very soon, likely in the next couple of weeks or just before term 2 starts. And yeah, these are all the ones that are going to be happening in term 2.
Perfect. And that first one will be to do with VCE OES, by the way. And then you've got another OES one there. And then we start to dive into a whole lot of other sessions that are rather relevant to providers as well. And as Andrea said, we might just quickly go back to that previous slide, because that's one that's coming up this week that could be relevant to both providers and generalist teachers, as well as OES teachers. Yeah, really clued up teachers in this particular space. So Brett, who's the top one there, is working with one of the Alpine school campuses of the Department of Education. And Phil Dennis was there and is now back out teaching in a government school. So some really practical tips there that'll be really useful for everyone. Thanks very much, Andrea. I think we're going to have Andrew Goodday join in a minute, but we'll just see if there's any other slide that I can touch on before Andrew gets to us. Okay, perfect. We might just leave it on that one there. If you want to just look at those particular dates and take note of those dates. Andrea, the system for these wonderful people that are on the call today, how's that work with these particular dates? Is this something that they register for each one individually?
Yes, that's right. So I'm about to post right now. Now there it is in the chat. You can go to this link and you will see the different dates of our online outdoor sector forums. So today was the first one of the year, but we are running them bi-monthly. So these are the dates for all 2024. You can already book those through this link. But yes, you have to register individually to each of them. But the link I sent you has all of the dates, and then you can just click and register for each of them. So the next one will be May 21. So we're trying to be consistent with the dates and the times. So it's always on a Tuesday and it's always 10 a.m. So we have the next one May 21. Then we have after that July 23rd, September 10, and November 19.
Fantastic, Andrea. Just let me know when Andrew arrives, because there's a number of us on the call now, so I can't always see everyone.
He's not in yet, but he should
No
be.
worries, that's fine. What I was going to do was open the floor to anyone who's got any particular general query or any particular information that they might want to share with everyone else. So feel free to just put your hand up, and Andrea or I will get around to you. Or if you're the first one, just yell out. What I might do is I've got.
By the way, Andrew is here just now.
Oh, excellent. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. And welcome, Andrew. Good day. I'm just going to see if I can actually see you. Yes, there you are. Welcome, Andrew.
Yep.
Fresh for another meeting of learning about training in the outdoors. So
Yes.
welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We've got some wonderful people with us today. And we might get back to particular slides that you can touch on. So that's the first one, Andrew, if you're okay with kicking us off on giving us an update on the Outdoor Education Innovation Hub.
Yes, thank you, Andrew, and good morning, everyone. Great to be here. Yeah, I've just come from an OEIH update. What they are actually right at the end of the project. So they're at the sort of final milestone stage of the project. They're delivering the last of their micro credentials called AGSM's Activity Group Skills Micro Credentials. There is a research report that's also due out in the next few weeks, and we'll certainly include a link to that in OV's monthly newsletter when it comes out for the wider industry. And in terms of activity moving forward, so that project's due to wrap up pretty much at the end of this month. It's been a 2-year project. One of the key outcomes that they're still working on is trying to get some of the micro credentials for these short courses. So, 3, 4, 5-day courses around canoe and swiftwater rescue and rock climbing, to get those on something called a skill set funding list. And so they're working on putting an application in for that, which is due. The application, they're hoping to have that application in the next month or so. In terms of the outcome, still unclear as to when we'd learn of the outcome, but I know there's a meeting that Andy Watts has later today with someone from Human Mobility that he's hoping to find out a little bit more around timing on that. So that's really all I've got from OEIH at this stage.
Thanks, Andrew. And just to touch on, Human Ability is one of the 10 federal jobs and skills councils, and Sport and Recreation, which we're included in, is included in that, which is actually the largest jobs and skills council. Takes in all of health, community services, aged care, early learning, as well as sport and recreation. So very much the lead in our space federally. So yeah, thanks, Andrew, for that.
Thank you. Home, back to me.
That's right. You've got plenty more.
Thank you. Yes, a career expo. So fresh yesterday from Northcote High School, where I talked to a few hundred year 10, 11, and 12 students about potential careers in the outdoors, showcasing that. I think you'll see there's a list there of a number of other school and local community. So LENS, for those that are not familiar, is the local learning and education networks. And so they work quite closely with schools. So they're also involved in some regions doing career expos. So this year we've sort of stepped up our presence and networking, trying to get a presence out in some of these career expos around schools. And in the newsletter, we put out an invitation to anyone in the industry if they wanted to come and along to any of those and sort of represent the industry. And we have some resources that we can send out to assist with those. In terms of career expos, just to confirm, we will also have a presence at two of the big expos this year. Victorian Career Show, which is at the showgrounds. Sorry, I don't think I've got a slide for this, but that's Thursday, the 16th of May to Saturday, the 18th of May. The Victorian Career Show has, I think, 10, 12,000 students or visitors come through, and it's got a very strong representation from regional Victoria and obviously the western side of metropolitan Melbourne as well. So a great catchment for us. And again, repeat, if we would love if anyone wants to come along, and whether it's a couple of hours or spend a day or two on that stand helping us promote the outdoor industry. And we will also have a stand at the Melbourne Career Expo at Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre, or Jeff Shed. And that's in July, Friday, the 26th of July to Sunday, the 28th of July.
Andrew, we've also got Binderee as well as Kinglake Forest Adventures and JDP on the call. So thanks very much for your assistance. We very much appreciate having not only the TAFEs and the unis and the OET there, but also having the providers support us. So thank you.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's been fantastic actually to spend time over the last couple of years with different people from both the training sector and also providers. So it's been fantastic to share knowledge and talk to students. Yeah.
We're staying with you, Andrew.
Yes, thank you. Disability and Inclusion Project. Really just a short one here, just to say that over the next couple of months, the main focus of this project is going to be a continuation of networking to widen the scope of the project. So phase one, which Andrea delivered last year, did a fantastic job, was we delivered a toolkit to assist providers to ensure that they are as inclusive as possible when dealing with students with a physical disability. And phase two is looking to widen the scope of disabilities, and so a wider list of disabilities, whether it's intellectual disability or autism and other neurodiversity and other potentially invisible disabilities as well. So we will widen the scope of consultation on that. By the time we have our next forum, we expect to have a survey of participants, so people living with a disability who either participate or look to participate in outdoor recreation, and their carers and other sort of significant people in their networks. And we will also look to set up, looking at around May time, to set up a focus group for that. So if anyone on this call would has an interest and would be willing to spend some time, I'd love to hear from you if you're not already. I think I can potentially see a couple of people on the list that I've got that have been involved. But again, just to repeat, we'd love to get your involvement.
Fantastic, Andrew.
Great. Thank you.
And we've also got James Nixon on the call, who's just been wandering through the process of being NDIS accredited. So there's definitely some relevance on the call today, as well as some of the providers who've been involved in helping us build these toolkits. But James, have you actually come across our toolkit? Because we might even get Andrea, if possible, to pop it in the chat from our link on the website.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Thank you. Of course, I would love to see it. Yeah,
fantastic. It's something that does really dive into a bit of detail. So yeah, it'd be interesting to get your take, James. And Andrew, good day. Do you mind just posting your email into chat, so that if James maybe can copy and paste that into an email, you can connect that way, because we'd love your feedback and anyone else's feedback on the call about how we've gone with that particular disability toolkit around the physical disability piece, so that we can really build the most impactful phase 2, which will also take in some updates to phase 1 as well. So thanks, James, and thanks, Andrew. Good day. Andrea, anything in chat we need to address?
No, nothing that I can see here. I just posted the toolkit link. It's called Welcoming People Who Live with a Physical Disability into Your Program. It's on our website. And yeah, you can download it through this link. I also put Andrew Gooday's email. Yeah, he also posted it there. So if you want to participate in phase 2, yeah, that would be amazing. It's basically a collaborative effort. So as Andrew mentioned, I had the opportunity and the privilege to lead that first phase. And in reality, it's just like, yeah, an amazing project that's very needed for the sector. And it's just a collaborative effort of so many different organizations to put up all their knowledge into this toolkit. So yeah, have a read at this toolkit, and yeah, it's just a compilation of different resources and knowledge from amazing people in the sector. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Andre. Yeah, great people at Australian Camps Association helped out a couple of years ago with building something for residential camps. So we've been able to incorporate all the learnings and the links that they had in that particular report. From memory, I think Marie Futrell might have helped them out with that. But there's some really wonderful team efforts across ACA, OV, as well as about 20 plus other outdoor providers. I know that Bindaree helped us out, which is great, and also a whole lot of disability support groups. But yeah, interesting to hear from any of you whether we've missed anything, whether there's new developments that we need to include and update. Because that's the advantage of having an online document. We can actually update it and just change the version. Yeah, thanks very much, Andrew, for your updates. Any particular questions or anything else that people would like to add before we finish up? Because we've just got another minute or so to go. Sorry for the awkward silence, but always, yeah, very, very keen to hear from anyone. This has been great today. Thanks very much for your involvement, your support, and passing on a whole lot of these links and everything else to your friends and colleagues in the sector.
Yeah, hi, Andrew.
Rachel.
How are you? Obviously, my name's Rachel. I'm from Baxmarsh Grammar. So I run all the camps and outdoor education programs for about 4,500 students every year. So quite a large program, and always looking out for information from providers and experts in the field as to what's on offer. But we'd be really keen to be involved in some of the extra projects. And I noticed there as well, you had the Careers Expo dates for schools, and I want to see if that's something we can jump into as well, if it's not already set in concrete about dates and conferences. So yeah, I just thought I'd say hi and tell you where I'm from, and keen to be further involved, I guess.
Cool. Yep, I'll jump in, Rachel. It's definitely not set in stone. Please feel free to get in touch directly, and we'll have a chat about getting you involved.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Andrew. Terrific.
That's ideal. Thanks, Rachel, for the call out. Yeah, and you've got Andrew Goodday's email there in the chat. So connect, and we'll definitely get going. Anyone else like to say hello to us with a query or comment? Otherwise, we might head off. Okay, well, I think we're done and dusted. Make sure you copy and paste those last links out of the chat, and we'll head off in a minute or two. But yeah, it's been wonderful having everyone on board, and yeah, we look forward to seeing you in another 8 weeks' time. But yeah, don't be a stranger. If there's anything at all that we can do, please reach out to myself, CEO at outdoorsvictoria.org.au. but also you've got Andrew Gooddays in the chat there as well around the disability toolkit and the careers piece as well. So, and OEIH. Thanks very much, Andrea, for organising us all, and yeah, look forward to seeing you soon. All the very best, everyone. Hold you on for another couple of weeks of term 1.